All right, guys, we are back. Finally, we had a little bit of a hiatus. We're in a little bit of a nebulous zone right now where we are waiting for Tesla to optimize hardware 3 for 12.5 of FSD. So we can try to test that out and see what that's like, or waiting for our hardware 4 car to get here so we can test it out that way. So either, whichever comes first, that's kind of where we are. So we're kind of holding back on making some videos right now, introducing our new scoring system, as I mentioned before, and testing that out with some new scenarios, as well as some new people involved as well. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for hanging with us. I know people have counted us out, but we're still here. And for those that have been rocking with us for a while, know that we do videos beyond just FSD. We started without FSD, so it's no big deal that we're down for a little bit for the count for making videos for FSD. But today we're going to talk about the main branch software update that's come and introduce a bunch of new features that not a lot of people are talking about. And let's jump into it right now. Okay, so first and foremost in the release notes, this is 2024.26. So that's the main branch, and then any variation of that, .3, .3.1, whatever the case may be, you may have, but this is what it introduces. Obviously, YouTube Music is now here. In the menu here, you have the option for YouTube Music, so that's there, in addition to Amazon Music. So both music options are available, so if you use any of those platforms, you'll be able to have those natively in the car as opposed to streaming them through Bluetooth, which is great. We have some new games here for Castle Doombad, which is a new arcade game as well. We'll talk about arcade in just a second as well. But one of the big things here is the parental controls. Okay, so this is really, really great for people with families where the family members get to drive the different Teslas that you might have or may have access to them, maybe with or without your consent. You can set up parental controls. And it says you can now enable parental controls with a pen in your vehicle and set the maximum speed limit, set the acceleration to chill or not, and turn on safety features such as speed limit warnings and automatic emergency braking and forward collision warnings, right? And configure a night curfew. So what this is this is basically giving control to owners what Tesla showroom people have had for many, many years right now. So if you've ever taken a test drive on a Tesla, you know that it's speed limited to a certain 85 miles an hour or 80 miles an hour, depending on where you are. And you know that you get a warning or alert when you hit that limit in your car. What you don't see is that back at headquarters, back at that showroom, they're also getting notification that you're hitting that limit. Okay. They're also the ability for you to use, to lock it in, the chill acceleration, to lock it in so you can't change it. Again, just to protect the cars in the showroom. So what wound up happening previously is that they would give the cars out. This is maybe like 2013, 2014, around that time. They would give the cars out for test drives. And so you have people getting into all kinds of accidents on the test drives. So they implemented a solution, I think early 2015, late 2014, where they would allow the showroom to be able to control the speed limit and control other features to prevent people from making mistakes, as they're very new to Tesla at the time. So again, this is just bringing that functionality now to the forefront and being able to leverage it in a parental control manner. So this is really, really cool. You can do that in here where you go to safety and then you go down to parental controls, which is down here, right? So the new option, parental controls, you turn it on and now you have that list of options here. Setting the speed limit, reduce the acceleration to chill so no one can put it in the plaid mode or insane mode or whatever the mode is, and then requires safety features, right? So meaning that you have to have these safety features on for forward collision warning and automatic emergency braking. They can't turn those off, which is great. And then send curfew notifications. This is pretty cool too, to send curfew notifications if your car is taken or driven past 11 p.m. So a lot of parents would really like that, to know if their kids or teens are taking the car, without their permission past this hour. And that notification will continue to ping and ping and ping, and you'll get notifications on your phone. So on your phone, you'll be able to see the notifications when the speed limit is hit. You'll be able to see notifications when the curfew trigger is activated as well. So really, really cool features for parents or anybody who wants to give, restricted access to their Tesla. Next up is the navigate to a sub destination. This is really cool, especially when going to the airport. But now when you enter a destination, you can also select a sub destination, such as a specific terminal at the airport, to get to more accurate routing. So this is really cool. If I was to go to the airport here, when I click on the airport here, International Airport, I can then choose the sub destination of terminal A, B, or C, and it'll route me that way. Or I can view more and see short-term parking, valet parking, et cetera, et cetera. So this is why you can now more specifically navigate to your destination. And this is really going to be cool when FSD is unsupervised, or even when it's supervised, because it's supervised now, but just to be able to go directly to the terminal as opposed to just saying navigate to the airport. So that's really, really cool. Okay, we'll cancel that out. Jump back in here. The next one is also another cool feature, the air quality and weather forecast, which is something we've been asking for many, many years. And I don't think that they didn't have the ability to do it. Tesla's team are pretty brilliant people. They can do pretty much anything. I think it was just a reliance on the system that they use in Google to be able to bring it to the forefront. So Google, on the Google map, on your Maps app, you have the weather and AQI on there as well. And you can press it and it comes up in a very similar fashion to this one as well. So it's basically the same functionality just being passed through to the Tesla interface. But in the release notes, it says your vehicle status bar now shows the local weather conditions alongside your temperature. When the air quality is poor, your vehicle will also show the AQI symbol and the index value. Okay, so this is really cool. You see it right here, shows the temperature. And if you can't really see right now just because of the contrast of the screen. If I turn it to this one, I think you'll be able to see a little bit better here. If I put the tiles on and put the details here, you'll be able to see it now. So now you should be able to see it. You'll be able to see the cloud for cloudy skies, which is what it is. It could be sunny, rainy, whatever. So it shows a little icon that tells you the weather and the temperature. And if you press that, you get the forecast, right? So when it's going to be, what time it's going to be, what weather on that particular day. You can't switch days right now, but it's just for the current day and your current location. But you also get that, and you get the AQI index as well as humidity levels and all that good stuff. So this is really, really great. We've been asking for them to show it on the map. Like if you could show a storm and show the weather information over the map, sort of like what pilots see. Thought that would be cool as well, just as a visual representation of what the weather is where you are. Obviously, you'd have to have lots of transparency to be able to still see the road, but just a little fun thing that you could probably toggle on and off, as you can toggle on the terrain right now to see that. You can toggle it off. Maybe you can toggle on weather as an additional option here. Just something to think about. But the AQI is there as well, and you can press that as well to get the same information, but it shows you what the AQI is. My only problem with this now is that, yes, it's valuable information, but yellow on white right now is just not a good look from a visibility standpoint. It's bad enough that it's small, but it's also yellow on white, which is not a great contrast. They should definitely change this to something different. And it does change depending on how severe the index gets. So if the index is like really bad weather, it turns to red and it becomes red, which is a better contrast. But yellow on white is just not a great contrast. It's too similar. It's hard to see when you just look at it at a glance. Not a good look. You'd have to actually press on it to see the details of the AQI to be able to see it. But otherwise, yeah, it's a great new feature, great new addition. But again, Tesla contrast is everything here when you're looking at a car where you only get a glance to look at something sometimes. So it probably makes sense to, make this a little bit better. Maybe green, the blue, something darker, orange, or just keep it red all the time, or make it black and just keep it black. And maybe make a little exclamation point or symbol at the end to designate when it's high AQI, so you can take actions accordingly. All right, next thing up is the new redesigned schedule, charge, and preconditioning menu. This menu is pretty interesting. I kind of prefer the old one better. I'll tell you why in just a second, but it's a new interface, and it also interfaces with your phone if you have the mobile app, but the latest version, you'll be able to see it there. But basically, when you go to charging, and I'll talk about this menu in a minute, just a second as well, you go to schedule, and now you have the option to automatically adjust your cabin temperature for preconditioning and automatically adjust your charge when you want to start your vehicle charge or stop your vehicle charge, etc. Right? And you can set it for current location, home, work, whatever location you have, which is great. So this is just reconfiguring the interface to make a little bit more sense, but in certain instances, it becomes a little bit of a step back. So for instance, in this location, if I wanted to say start a charge schedule, right, I can say that my charge schedule will start to charge by 12 a.m. at this location, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, repeat. Okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. That makes perfect sense, right? Or I want charging to end by this time, right? Whatever that time is, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, repeat, right? And that makes sense. Then it'll start. What I don't get is I don't get the off-peak option anymore. It used to have an off-peak option where you can, and maybe I'm missing it somewhere and I don't see it. It's not here, and it's definitely not in the mobile app, but basically you could set off-peak hours and say that my off-peak charging starts at 6 p.m. every day. Okay. So by that token, if I was to have that programmed in here, whatever time I set start at, 5 p.m., it won't start by 5 p.m. because my off-peak doesn't start to 5 p.m. Or if I say charge on off-peak hours and end by 12:15, then we know that it will start, at the very least at 6 p.m. So right now, if I was to enable this to end by 2 a.m. and my off-peak starts at 6 p.m. and I have like 1% battery, it might need more hours between 6 and 12 a.m. in order to charge, in which case it would start charging based on this menu. It would start charging earlier than 6 p.m., which is my off-peak hours, and therefore put me in the higher rate of electricity consumption. So that's what I don't want. I think that's what I'm missing here. And maybe it's a bug. Maybe I'm missing it. Maybe I don't understand it. Chime in the comments if you get what I'm saying. But basically, I want to be able to have my off-peak hours still set so that I am starting to charging stops at a certain point, but doesn't start until my off-peak hours kick in. That's the only thing that we're missing here. But otherwise, it's pretty good. It's pretty good in terms of just being a little bit more intuitive for people to understand when they want preconditioning versus charging. It used to be all bundled together where you could charge and precondition. Then they broke it out from preconditioning and charging, but it was hard to understand what you were scheduling against, preconditioning or charging. And now it's a little bit more cohesive in terms of being more detailed and understanding what's happening and where, but I'm missing that off-peak option. Okay, so that's my little rant on that. Hopefully they fix that, or hopefully someone can clarify it to me, or maybe they still have it in some way, shape, or form. Would love to know about that. All right, security improvements. Nothing much here to just say updates include and security fixes and improvements. I'm always happy about that. I know they're doing the best they can to keep the car secure with the hackathons and all that stuff, issuing bounties for hackers to find exploits and stuff like that. That's always great stuff. All right, next up is the other updates that they're not calling out. Battle of Polytopia, Vampire Survivors. When in auto mode, the fan may now automatically lower or reduce the sound of the ambient noise during a phone call. That's pretty cool. I tried that out. Can't really demo it right now, but basically when you're on a call, if your air conditioner is blasting, it'll lower down, right, to be able to hear the person on the call. So that was always a problem before, where the air conditioner would be blasting when you just get in the car and you're on the phone and you wind up yelling at the person on the other line. Not a good look. So this eventually fixes that, right? So that's great. Zoom meetings now default to full screen when you're in the cars in park. You can also log in with the QR code. Again, always great to have anything full screen on this big, beautiful screen. Tesla mic is now supported in conjunction with the availability of the Tesla store. Cool for that. And then Controls Search now surfaces climate-related features and navigation when searching for an address. Okay, so that's pretty cool. That's the control menu here. And then you go search here. Okay, so that's all for the major release notes here. They also have Beach Buggy too. Here's the hot weather improvements to increase the efficiency of the AC. These are older builds in 2024.20, but this is 2024.26. So that completes the features there. Now let's talk about some of the undocumented features here. One of which is the redesigned menu. And I'm not sure which update this came in, but this is a redesigned menu where they sort of break things out a little bit more so that you get more menu items. So now you have a little bit of scroll action here. Before it used to stop about here with software and service and leave it there. Now they've added a couple more menu options for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and upgrades. Because those menu items are here, but not a lot of people intuitively think to press this for Wi-Fi or press this for Bluetooth. They just see it up there as a status icon of whether it's active or not. So that's it for the menu. What they're also not telling you in this release, and maybe I'll go to arcade, is that they've actually removed a bunch of games, right? A bunch of the classic Atari games. I don't see them anymore. Those games have been removed for some odd reason. They don't say it in the release notes. They don't tell you why, but they've definitely been removed. I'm not sure if they're going to come back. I'm not sure if there's a licensing issue or what. I don't know if Tesla didn't pay their bills or doesn't want to pay their bills. I don't know. But those classic arcade games are gone. Steam is still here for those with enough RAM to play them, but everything else that they had here is there. So that's pretty much it for this update. Pretty straightforward. But let me know in the comments if there's anything else that you noticed on this release that I might have missed. All right. Until the next time, and until we get hardware 3 12.5, or until we get our hardware 4 car, enjoy your day, enjoy your Tesla.